Hello, and welcome to Year of the Vampire. This week we watched The Addiction. It was a bit of a polarizing one for us.
How was it polarizing? I thought I made my opinions on it pretty clear, just like I'm going to make them pretty clear in this video.
Anyways, I've watched it twice already. This is the first time for you.
I mean, yeah, you watched it twice, but one of those was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like a little over 10 years ago. Anyways, let's get to the plot here. It is about Kathleen, a college student who is taking philosophy classes.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could just say she's a philosophy student.
Philosophy student, yes. And
you're welcome.
She has a weird obsession with, like, Holocaust videos.
Was it just Holocaust? I thought it was just wars in general, or war tragedies, or some shit.
It looked like it was bouncing between, like, actual World War II footage and actual footage from the Bosnian Wars, which is...
I had trouble with those parts, but we'll get into that on the third part in Sound and Music.
Anyways, aside from that...
Yeah, she gets, like, though not really attacked, she gets accosted by a woman in the night.
Casanova.
And it turns out she's a vampire, and then Kathleen is a vampire.
And so the rest of the movie is, at least for the first part, she's changing into a vampire, and then the rest of it, she's
basically just accepted it and is kind of just vibing with being a vampire.
And going very strongly along with the movie title, she is leaning heavily into the addiction side of, bloodlust and literal heroin on some parts.
Not as much as Jane, of course. Jane's addiction is a completely separate thing, though.
That's a band.
I know, that's why I said it was completely separate.
And her friend's name was Jean. I'm not sure if
they were really
friends, but
I didn't actually hear her name. Again, we'll get to that in the third part, but yeah, you might have noticed Christopher Walken is on the cover. He appears for like
5 minutes.
Yeah, like 5-6 minutes in the movie and is never actually seen again as far as we're aware.
And that was an hour and 20-minute long movie.
Oh yeah, it's not a very long movie either.
No.
Just lots of swapping between studying, watching genocide videos, being a vampire, and doing drugs. It's basically just 79 minutes. It's like 75, 79 minutes of that.
But honestly, it's also in black and white.
Well, we could save that for cinematography.
True.
Acting. What'd you think of the acting?
It was good. It was a bit weird. Nothing felt unnatural, I guess. I
don't know. I kind of thought some parts felt unnatural, but maybe I'm not a philosophy student, or I'm not a philosophy student. Excuse me. So maybe that's why I thought it was unnatural. But if anyone's a philosophy student, tell me if philosophy students are actually as melodramatic as they are in movies.
Okay, she was doing a lot of philosophy bits. I feel possibly a bit too much, but
dude, like every other scene was her quoting philosophy.
That really is that does happen a lot.
I didn't think the acting was horrible. I didn't think it was hammy, but I couldn't get into the acting.
Christopher Walken did the best acting parts.
Yeah, for like the 5 minutes he was in the movie.
I see why he wanted to play that part. He pulled it off.
Sound and music. So, I promised we'd get to this part. I didn't care for the sound quality. There were a lot of scenes. I don't know if it was because we started watching on your tablet and switched your computer and they're just bad, but there were a lot of scenes I just couldn't understand what people were fucking saying.
There were some quiet parts. A lot of whispering in a few scenes. But yeah, as far as the music goes...
I don't know. The music was all right. I mean, the hip-hop was kind of distracting at, like, the two parts in the movie. I was going to say,
that was a bit... Well, there was a lot more than two parts. It's like every time they're in the, like, more busy parts of the city, there's rap music playing. And then there was the, like, almost ambient parts, and then there was nothing for a lot of the time.
There's like, rap, hip-hop, whatever. There's, just ambient, like, instrumental music, and then there's just fucking silence. Those are the three levels of sound you get in this movie.
And they are actually pretty noticeable between the parts.
I could not understand what the narrator was saying in those movie clips that she was watching. Like, I picked up some things here or there. Like, could you understand him? Maybe it's just in my head, but I couldn't.
No, I couldn't understand. The thing she was watching on the TV was a bit harder to understand.
And also, Christopher Walken's like initial part where he's walking on the street and it's like an aerial view and he's just like talking normally.
It sounded almost like he was mumbling to himself until she walked up to him. So yeah, that
I don't know.
was a bit hard.
I don't know. I didn't like the sound for this movie. Like it was hard to hear. I wasn't vibing with the weirdly jarring music or non-music choices. Cinematography, the one you wanted to talk about.
I mean, I think it's cool. It's in black and white, so
it looks artsy and important.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
It's poetic because everything is gray because that's what people's lives are. Gray, nothing, and pointless. Because life is pointless.
Films. Okay. I like black and white films. Personally, it doesn't always work, but it definitely worked in this case.
I don't dislike black and white films, but I do find black and white films that are about philosophy, filmed in the 90s, to be entirely fucking pretentious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not really a philosophy guy, I guess, because I always feel like when people quote philosophy or study philosophy, it always just sounds like they're talking down to everybody else.
I mean, she kind of gave me that vibes on a few occasions. And even her friends were, like, starting to call her out. Okay, so special effects. There were none.
No, that's not true. There was the blood effects for people's necks being bitten.
I did like the blood usage. Obviously, the blood looked black for all of the movie.
Oh, don't worry. It was chocolate sauce. Kind of like in Psycho.
Freaking love it when they use chocolate. It looks like blood. Like, it's a black and white film.
Except in when they use chocolate sauce in things that are in color, then it just looks like they're being sprayed with chocolate sauce.
Yeah, I've seen that too. It's like, do people?
It's like that only works when you can't see that it's fucking brown.
Yeah, I've seen a couple iterations of movies with like brown or black blood, and it's like, do they not know what the color blood is?
Yeah, it's like oh
it's
man,
not a black and white film. It's not going to work like that.
Yeah, most of it, if it's black and white, it's like, holy crap, that person got stabbed in the neck, is gushing blood. Color, it's like, holy crap, that person is bleeding chocolate. Why is their blood brown?
All right, so The Addiction.
Wow, we talked about this more than I was expecting to.
Right, so The Addiction, vampires, philosophy, the Holocaust,
heroin.
And heroin.